Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Crafting with Kay video. If you guys are new here, my name is Karen and I do a whole bunch of crafty stuff for my crafty business. In today's video, we are going to be embroidering a toddler shirt using the appliqué method. If you guys don't know what that is, according to Google, it is a technique whereby an artist attaches one small design element made of fabric to a larger fabric. To me, that basically means we are taking a large piece of fabric and a small piece of fabric, in this case two, and we are going to put them together by sewing them together on our embroidery machine. In this case, our big piece of fabric is going to be our toddler t-shirt, and we're going to be adding this yellow piece of fabric to it along with a piece of this super pretty glitter heat transfer vinyl. We cannot forget about our other materials though. We will also be using this tearaway stabilizer, a washable stabilizer, temporary adhesive to stick our stabilizer to our shirt, a light iron-on adhesive, a mini iron, some crafting scissors, an embroidery machine, embroidery hoops, any kind of thread, and our USB with our embroidery file on it. So I'm gonna start by flipping our shirt inside out. That way we are able to add our stabilizers. First one up is going to be our wash away stabilizer, and we're just gonna give it a couple of sprays with our temporary adhesive. That way it sticks on our shirt. Now we're gonna do the same thing again, but just with our tearaway. Now that our 2 layers of stabilizer is on our shirt, we're gonna go ahead and flip it back around. That way we can get to hooping. Now that it's time to hoop, I'm just gonna go ahead and fold our shirt in half. That way it gives us a center line and it is easier for us to hoop. So when we bring it back, we'll have a straight line down the middle. I wish there was an easier way to hoop, but literally it just takes so much practice and patience until you get it right. So I like to just create this little outline here with my nail. That way I'm able to see around where our hoop is. And I'm just gonna adjust by pushing like this and then again creating that little outline until I feel like it is centered with our line here. See right here, I'm trying to add my hoop and I can see that I'm actually way off from our center line. So I definitely need more adjusting. Now that we're done hooping our t-shirt, we cannot embroider just yet because we have to prep our additional fabric. That way we are able to do our applique method. I will be grabbing our yellow piece of fabric and scissors and just cut out a small little square. And this is gonna be the background of our little chicken. If you're not understanding just yet, that's totally okay. We're just gonna keep going. Now grabbing our heat and bond, I'm just gonna cut out a square the same size of our fabric. Lay our heat bond over our piece of fabric, and this is where we start heating up our iron. I'm just gonna set our towel over, that way we're not ironing just on top of our plastic here. We'll put our fabric like this and iron our 2 pieces of fabric together. And now what was 2 pieces now have became 1. Since our yellow piece of fabric was pretty thin, our heat and bond helps make that a little bit thicker and will help in the embroidery process. Not only are we doing the applique with this yellow piece of fabric, but we are also using some heat transfer vinyl. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut just a piece off. You always wanna remember to remove your heat transfer vinyl from our clear sheet here. And now we are just left with this very soft piece. Now that both fabrics have been prepped, now we can go to our embroidery machine. I will say baby clothes is kind of the hardest to embroider because since you have to take out the fabric from under, it'll kind of want to hover over our plate here, and this needs to be completely blank. That way our needle is able to embroider. Now that we have all our clips here in place, we are going to start our embroidery process. I know it's going to start with our number 1, and our number 1 background is going to be this cute pastel. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that down. That way we can start the machine. Okay, so as you guys could see, this one was low-key a fail because it's going to continue doing the one on top here where I don't have any more material. So let's cut these little threads out and then try again. This isn't a complete loss. As long as we are able to take out our little threads right and not rip the shirt, we're able to just start again. Sometimes I just find it easier, instead of a seam ripper, to use some scissors, and I'm just gonna snip away these little tiny threads that it created, and then after that they should completely come out and we'll be able to restart one more time. And now we know this time to use a little bit more material and to place it higher up. We were able to pull all this out, so let's cut up another square and try again. If you see closely here, you could see that the outline of our one has finally been stitched in. So we're gonna take this out, grab our scissors. Okay, and I have messed this up because I let our hoop come out of this piece. So instead of trying to fix this, we're gonna have to head to our Hobby Lobby and grab another shirt. Because once I feel like you take it out, there's kind of no way to go back and set it in the right place again. Dang it. But just so you guys could see, you're basically cutting off all the extra excess of the number one, like this. And that, my friends, is a perfect example of it happens. First mistake I was able to fix, no biggie, but sometimes we are not able to fix our other mistakes, like in this case. So now I do have to buy yet again another shirt, but thankfully it was just like a $3 to $4 shirt, so it's not too bad. Okay, and they do have them, thankfully, and I am getting two just in case. And now I'm gonna close my eyes while I walk through here because I cannot buy anything else. I was on my way back to the shop. I got the shirt and everything, but then I got invited to eat and I can't say no to eating. We're with Angel and Forrest. Just gonna grab a quick bite and then I swear we're gonna get back to our project. Say hello. What's up? And we are back in business. Let's get to it. And ladies and gents, our needle just broke. If you do not know how to change your needle, no worries, I will show you in this video. First, you're gonna end up putting your pressure foot up just like that. You're gonna wanna snip any little thread that you have in right now. If you can, take off the piece of needle that's already broken. Grabbing this little tool here, we're gonna unscrew this little black piece here, and this will let go of the rest and tip of our needle. Just grab my replacement needle. I'm just going to place it in the way it was. Once my needle is in all the way, grabbing my little tool, I'll just screw it back. That way it is nice and tight and our needle doesn't come undone. Now that we replaced the broken needle, I'm just gonna go ahead and rethread our thread through. And now we can start again. Now that we have the outline of our one, once again, I'm gonna press the little scissors button to cut our thread. Our job right now is to cut all the excess. That way we are just left with the outline of the one. It is a little harder since our material is already bunched up, but we are gonna try our best to get everything we can. Now with some smaller scissors, I'm just gonna try to get the little excess left on the edges. Yay, and now we have successfully finished our number one. Next step is to add our yellow fabric, and this is going to be the background of our little chicken. Second piece of fabric is done, and now we have our little chicken's background color. Now doing the same thing as earlier, we are just going to trim the fabric. Yay, and we have successfully added our 2 applique methods. These are the only fabrics that are going on here. So now what's left is to embroider the rest of the design. I just checked out my design and it wants to outline our little chicken here. So I'm going to grab a yellow thread that matches the fabric. That way we can have an outline to our chicken. I think this one will work. Yeah, I think that's close enough. We're now going to thread our pink thread since it is moving on to the number 1. Now that we have our little baselines here, we're just going to keep doing the same thing and add the rest of our colors and the little chicken details. And once this number 1 is done, we are going to add the name at the bottom. Do you guys see how pretty that name came out? What's funny is I ran out of thread and this was literally the only piece left, but it finished before, so that was cool. Now adding a new pink for the chicken's cheeks, and not those cheeks. Hot pink for the inside of the chicken's mouth. Orange for the beak and the little feet. Yellow for the outline of our chicken's body. White for the inside of the eyes. Black for the rest of the details of the eyes. And last but not least, the same pink we used for the text for our bow. And that is the end of our embroidery phase. Now we'll bring this back into the office. And now all we have left is to clean her up. And by that I mean we are taking our scissors and we are going to snip away any excess threads, as you guys could see here. That way they are not in the way of our design. I also do post very frequently on Instagram, so if you guys want to go give me a follow, I follow back. And now that we are done cleaning her up, we are able to remove the hoops. Look how freaking cute that looks. I think it came out so good. It was my first time using a heat transfer vinyl, so I'm very excited that it worked out. I promise we are almost done. We are going to flip our shirt inside out, and I'm gonna tear away our tearaway stabilizer. So that way we are left with our soft mesh one. And now grabbing our scissors here, I'm just going to trim along the edges and make sure I do not cut our shirt. Imagine if we messed up that many times earlier and we finished and I cut it. Yeah, no, I would just call it a day and try again tomorrow. Okay, last step, I swear. We're gonna turn on the heat press, set it to 300. We have just finished our first project using the applique method. I think this shirt came out super cute. Despite all our mess ups, I'm so happy we were able to pull it off. Being able to incorporate other fabrics or heat transfer vinyl just gives it that little bit of extraness, and I love it. I am so obsessed and I can't wait to offer these on my website for any theme. But overall, I am so happy. I hope you guys were able to learn a little something, and maybe it'll give you guys the courage to try your own project. Isn't she so cute? Well, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give us a thumbs up, and I will see you guys on our next video. Bye!